Let's put these god dang dancing kiwis on the screen. Bobby, your stream is full of some god dang dancing kiwis. I don't know what the hell it's about or what you're doing with those things, but I'm tired of seeing them. All right. Metroid Zero mission. Exterminate all Metroids on planet Zebes, and defeat the mechanical life form Mother Brain. I never know how to pronounce this planet. Is it Zebes or Zeb? I'm not sure. I've always read it as Zebes. But I might be wrong. They all sound goofy, honestly. But let's waste no time. So a little bit of background. Back to tell you 6:30. Okay, the movie is at 6:30. I will probably play this for about an hour. And then I'm gonna get off stream. We've had a good time so far. Yeah, I'll play this for about an hour, and then I'm gonna go watch the new Dune. Very excited for that. So a little bit of background for this: Metroid Zero Mission is a remake of the very first Metroid. Metroid 1, so Dragon My Balls in chat was talking about the whole idea of having to make your own map. This remake completely removes that necessity. I would say that Zero Mission holds your hand just a little bit too much. That's just me. My first Metroid was Super on the SNES, and I really liked the amount of ambiguity there was to where you should go. You kind of had to find your own way around, and I really liked that. Zero Mission kind of points you in the direction you need to go. Same with Fusion, and that's not my favorite thing in the world. However, besides that, there is not much wrong with this game. I think it's a really, really good entry point. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm very, very excited to play this again. We'll do normal. I would say that anybody here in chat or watching the VOD, actually, let me read this. Planet Zebes. I called this place home once in peaceful times, long before evil haunted the caverns below. Now I shall finally tell the tale of my first battle here. My so-called Zero Mission. Now, back when the first Metroid came out, you were probably, at the time, a little bit flabbergasted to discover that Samus Aran was a woman. I think that is incredible. The most badass woman in video games, in my opinion. Here, they don't really hide that. They show her eyes through the suit at the beginning. I can only imagine what it was like back in the day, experiencing that for the first time. But no, anybody here in chat that is a fan of Halo, I feel like being a fan of Halo, depending on what you like about Halo, I think that translates really well to Metroid. I did not grow up on Metroid, but I grew up on Halo. And yeah, the Morph Ball, basically, I mean, what they do, the whole idea with this game that I love is typically back in the day on the NES, you would go left to right. Here, you drop down and you see that you can go left. However, at the time, you can only crouch. You can't go under that. It's like, oh shit, I can go left. And then there's the Morph Ball that you see you can't go under that, and it kind of teaches you that this will be an exploration game. You know, you can go in all directions. I adore that. I love this game. I love Metroid. It's just one of my favorite series in the world. It's gonna take a little bit for me to get used to the control scheme on this controller. I played it on my Anbernic, which is like a handheld emulator, and I feel like it played pretty well. Don't you touch me! Also, it's been so long since I've played this, I'm probably going to forget where secrets are. I'm sure there's something there that I can't access yet. But we'll get it as we go. So we hop in. Oh, I need to mute myself when I take a sip of my drink. We hop in this Chozo statue, and it tells me to go up there, and it recharges my health, which is great. So anybody, again, I'm going to be making a lot of connections to Halo while I play through this series. Anybody who is familiar with Halo and familiar with the Forerunners, the Chozo kind of play the in a way. Not completely. There's overlap. There's a Venn diagram with an overlapping circle. But you have this civilization that is completely gone. And little hints, little like relics and hints that they were here, but not anymore, you know? And you can see their technology. Clearly they had a presence on planet Zebes. But they're not here anymore, and it's a dang shame because them things were pretty cool, man. Them things were pretty cool. So, one of the things I love about this game again, they tease you with abilities. So I know that I can roll, but my shot can't reach that far. I wonder what I'll have to do. And in my head, I'm gonna pin that away. Think, oh, when I can't figure out where to go, I know that there was a barrier there, a lock, if you will. I can go this far, though. So I had never played a Metroidvania before until 2019 or 18, I can't remember. And that game was Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is the game that convinced me. Hollow Knight is the game that convinced me that I absolutely adore Metroidvanias. I didn't even know that that's what they were called. But I played Hollow Knight, fell in love with just the concept of open exploration, not knowing where to go, being, you know, blocked from an area and then getting an ability that took you to that place. But it really, really excited me. I mean, like, I had never played something like that. And when I figured out that this genre was called Metroidvania, I was like, okay, it's Metroid and it's Castlevania. I had never played either. And I think it was 2 years ago. I was actually at, oh, and you see here, okay, we have this tunnel. We have Kraid and Ridley's head. We'll pin that for a little bit and think about it later. I've begun sharing the good news of Stroodel Zero, among others. More may join the cult soon. Lee, I would love to introduce some more acolytes of the Stroodel cult. Stroodelites, if you will. But yeah, I was like, okay, I need to play one of the Metroid or Castlevania games. I'm not sure which, but I decided to start with Super. And that was one of the best gaming decisions of my life, actually, I think. Because my experience with Super Metroid became one of my favorite, like, memories game-wise. I was living alone at the time, and I was working remotely, so I spent a lot of time by myself. And I think I played through Super Metroid 3 times in a few months span. I mean, just became obsessed with it. The music, the atmosphere, it sold me on this series. And it's weird because I kind of had, I don't know. I had a false idea of what Metroid was. I thought that Samus was just like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I didn't think that Metroid was going to be a series that I liked. And I was horribly wrong. It was mature for its time. It like took risks, which I think is incredible. Like in the opening of Super Metroid, and we'll see, you know, when I get to that game. You know, Samus is exploring a... Oh, I already went this way. That might happen while I talk. Samus is exploring a derelict space station, and she finds dead scientists, you know, strewn around this laboratory. That is so damn cool for a Nintendo game, genuinely. That they went to that place, and they haven't like babied it down, if you will. They haven't dumbed it down at all since then. I mean, Dread, the newest game in the series, I mean, one of the best Metroidvanias that I've played in my life, and maybe one of my favorite Switch games. I mean, of the current Nintendo generation, huge, absolutely huge, maybe top 3. I will say, I am very spoiled on Super Metroid music. I'm not the biggest fan of the Zero Mission music. Oh, I forget, there's a delay on the wall jump. I would like to be able to maybe sequence break this, but they're gonna keep doing damage. Oh, maybe. Come on. Yeah, maybe I need to chill. Another thing that I love about the Metroid games is, you know, there's this constant temptation to see if you can get somewhere before you're supposed to be there. I love that. Now, if this were Super Metroid, or if I had the bomb yet, which I don't, then I would be going for that. But I'm gonna get a few more unlocks before I try and do some sequence breaking. I'm no speed runner by any means, and definitely not the most skilled player in the world. I think I'm pretty good at Super Metroid, but Zero Mission I've only played once. I'm not too familiar with how this works, with how this game plays, at least. Yeah, I'll take a little save. I think one of the biggest things that I regret, and I say regret, I didn't have any control over it. I had the games that I had as a kid. But I grew up with a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance, both generations. I would say it was during the Game Boy Advance era, but I had a Game Boy Color that my friend gave me. It was a neon green one that I still own, by the way. And I'm very proud of that. And it's still in great condition. It works well. Oh, foreshadowing a boss fight. So I grew up with a handful of Game Boy Color games. I had the Donkey Kong, like I played the Donkey Kong game on Game Boy Color at the time. It was mostly Pokemon. Pokemon Gold was like my Game Boy Color staple. But sadly, and I really hate this, I really wish that I could have had the chance to play the Game Boy Advance Metroid games. Sadly, I did not have the chance to. My cousins had Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't even know Metroid Zero Mission existed until I was well into my like appreciation for the series. Oh, we got a missile eye here. Yeah, shoot your spikes. He's just hooting and hollering and carrying on. Also, funny thing about the Metroid series, instead of bosses having like health bars, they like to make them slowly become more red. Like, notice that this this worm, this centipede thing, it was purple to start with. Ridley's the same. Ridley is purple to start with. You fight it more, take down more of its health, and it becomes red. I don't really understand that. Because in any like canon portrayal of Ridley that we see, you're not looking at a red Ridley. He's purple all the time. I would actually love if in Smash Ultimate they had done something where when you take more damage as Ridley, you become slightly redder. That would be interesting. It'd be a nice nod to the games. But I think that Smash is lacking in a lot of areas when it comes to Metroid representation. For example, why is it that Smash Ultimate, which came out in 2018, why is Samus's outfit the other M model? Why on earth would they do that? I mean, you could at least add the fusion suit, like do something cool. They even added Dark Samus, and that's from 1.5 Prime games, right? Like that's it, 1.25 Prime games. And they choose to go with Samus's other M model, which I think is the worst example of Samus's power armor, by the way. Yeah, blow up that odd scrotum. So, and I've been saying dragging my balls in the chats. This is my friend, my IRL friend, Steven. And I normally wouldn't call someone by their actual name unless they were okay with it. But Steven, have you heard anything about Other M? About like the idea of Other M, like what people think about it and its reputation? So Other M is the black sheep of this series. It is genuinely, I have never played it, so I don't know from experience. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm not paying attention. There is no bad, oh, come on. There is no bad Metroid game except for Metroid Other M. It was made by Team Ninja, so it wasn't actually a Nintendo-made game. And if you've heard of, have heard of or haven't heard of Team Ninja, they made Ninja Gaiden. I think they also made Nioh. I might be wrong about that. But they made Metroid Other M. It was a side game that came out on the Wii. It was a full 3D game that they wanted you to control with a sideways Wiimote. Okay, so already horrible decision. But you know the idea that Samus is just a badass. Like she doesn't have to talk to communicate herself. She doesn't have to have one-liners or whatever to be a badass main character. They decided, let's take all of her power away in Other M. Now this is hearsay, okay? I've never played it. I've considered the idea of playing it on this stream, and I might. But I kind of don't want my idea of Metroid to be tainted. Kind of like I wish I had never played Halo 5's campaign. I kind of just want to never play it and be okay with this series as it is. But Other M made some controversial story choices, and it's sad. Anyway, they chose for that to be her player model. Coward. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. If I get enough coward accusations. Oh, I missed that missile tank earlier. If I get enough coward accusations, then I might. But anyway, I think that they could have done a lot better with Samus in the Smash games. Go ahead, open your eye. Let me see that big fat bloodshot eyeball. No! Come on. Oh, that's how I get health. I am a goofy person. Oh my god. So, oh, we got an E-tank, more health. Anyway, I'm a huge Metroid fan, and it's sad when a game comes out that represents the series poorly. Halo 5. But, you know, thankfully, that's the only game that I can say has, like, put a bit of a stain on this series' reputation. Everything else, you know, it's not often that a sequel comes out, what, 19 years after the original, I believe? And does it justice. Metroid Dread was, I mean, when I say it was a masterpiece, it was a masterpiece. And that was Mercury Steam that made that. And they did an incredible job. Zelda, yeah, Zelda. Well, does Zelda have any stains? I'm sure for a little bit people might have said Wind Waker, but we all know that's not true. Wind Waker's incredible. I know some people thought Skyward Sword was that way. Maybe Link's crossbow training. I've met some people that really viciously don't like the DS games. Let's get that morph ball. The morph bomb, actually. Skyward Sword is rough, but still interesting lore. Yeah, crossbow training. What about Tingle's Red Rosy Rupee Land, or whatever that game was called? Steven, did you know that there was a Tingle game? I bet you didn't. Yeah, I think there were two, actually. All right, let's do my due diligence and bomb everything. No, we're good. Am I still good at bomb jumping? Let me see. The timing is always weird in every game. I felt like I was considerably proficient at Super Metroid's bomb jumping. Okay, it's all about rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Yeah, I got it. Have you thought about doing any Pokemon streaming? I have, and I plan on it, actually. But not just Pokemon streaming. Besides, like, my just, like, regular comfort zone Pokemon games. Will you get off me, please? I probably will stream Gold or Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, like Gens 2 and 3, because those are my favorites. But I will probably stream the Pokemon Coral ROM hack, because I think that is an incredible ROM hack that I have played on my emulator. Here, let me get this bomb jump. Boom, check it out. And then I fell again. I know they probably want you to get the thing where you can hang, but why do that when you have bomb jumping? Check it out. Oh, this is gonna be the part that I can't do anything. Yep. You see that one wall jump? Yeah, I'm pretty good at the game, I gotta say. You gotta set up cam to show off your ROM gear. I probably won't use the Anbernic. I'll probably just load up the ROM with the patch and everything just on my computer. The thing that I really like about Coral is it's a Gen 2 ROM hack, but it has Pokemon from up through Gen 7. Or 8. I think just Gen 7. And the creator of ROM hack, they're just called Coral Dev. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Coral Dev did, maybe with the help of others, I'm not sure. Coral Dev did custom Gen 2 style sprite work for newer Pokemon. And when I say they did a great job, they did an incredible job. Like, I love their sprite work. On the handheld, on the handheld playthrough I was doing, I think my team was a Phantump, and they even like loaded in their cries and everything. I think that would be a fun playthrough because it's still fresh. It's also still in progress, so they only have the game set up through the first 6 gyms, I believe. But it's going to be a multi-part region, kind of like Gold and Silver was, where you could go to Johto and Kanto. And right now, they've only done the 6th gym of the north part of the region. I think it's called Onwa. And I'm very excited to see more. And I'm also going the wrong way. Yeah, I think maybe the next time they patch it or update it, maybe with the complete full like north part of the region, I think that might be when I play it on stream. Then again, with Nintendo recently, I am slightly wary of playing a ROM hack on stream. Or Game Freak. I don't know who's in charge of their Pokemon litigation, really. Okay, so now that I have the Morph Ball Bomb, there are a couple of options. I can go back, well, I can go here, first of all. Yeah, let's go here. This is the first place that they show me after getting this. Get some health. Y'all better back up. Y'all better back up. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. What do we have here? So what it would like me to do is go into Norfair. So this is what I was talking about earlier with the whole idea that the game shows you where to go. I think that is kind of not Metroid's vibe, or historically it wasn't. I mean, we have a lot of games where Metroid does in fact tell you where to go, and that's okay. And maybe I'm being a super Metroid loyalist, but I really like when Metroid just lets you fuck off and find it yourself, you know? Like, it's up to you in Super Metroid to remember, hey, I got this upgrade, and I remember this one area that I couldn't access previously, so I need to go find that area again, you know? I think that's cool. And I understand the, hey, zero mission, here's where you go mentality is a little bit controversial for a lot of people. That was fun in Hollow Knight too. Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of people, like one of my favorite streamers in the world doesn't like Hollow Knight because it's too big. And another game I'm fond of, I know if there's anything I know about you, Steven, it's going to be Outer Wilds. And I know because of that, I'm going to love Outer Wilds. And it will be a game that I stream on here. Because, you know, now that we live in different parts of the country, you won't have the ability to watch me play or Outer Wilds until I play it on stream. So that is motivation. But anyway. It's funny how many mechanics you've discussed that show up there. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that there are so many videos that talk about how incredible Outer Wilds is. I need to finally experience it. But yeah, Hollow Knight, there are, like, my favorite streamer in the world talks about how Hollow Knight is too big. And I get that because his favorite Metroidvania is Super Metroid, and that's a very concise, like bite-sized Metroidvania for sure. And I love that. Like I've beaten Super Metroid in 7 hours. I've beaten it in 5. I've beaten it in 20, just by taking my time, you know. But Hollow Knight can be long, and yet it never felt like it was a Herculean task for me to find where I needed to go, if that makes sense. Even though you're exploring on your own, with no real help. I love that. Why did it drop me there? Surely there's another place it wants me to go. That way? Probably up. Yeah, there were some painful backtrack moments in Hollow Knight. And yeah, the big takeaway for me was, okay, the fast travel or the backtracking is tough because I don't have all of the stag stations that I need. And maybe it's behind a boss that I have been trying to avoid, you know? Or there are benches that are closer to where I need to go that I haven't found yet. I never felt like I was done exploring. And that takes me back to that mindset when I was a kid where a game never felt fully complete. Like I didn't have the internet, you know, there was no way for me to know. Okay, I didn't have the internet. I didn't have all-encompassing access to the internet, I should say. I was born in 98. I don't want to mislead when I was born or what eras I was or wasn't around for. Oh, get me out of hell. Get me out of here. But someone, you know, like me, born in 98, there were only like, first of all, I didn't even realize that I could look things up on the internet until I was, you know, much older. But then at that point, my internet time was heavily monitored and rationed out, you know? So it's not like I could just get on all the time, enough to look up certain things. And so like when I played a game, my knowledge was restricted to what I knew and what my brothers told me, what my friends told me, which I think is kind of faithful to that idea that like, hey, game information is spread on the playground, at least for a certain era. And I love that. And I know it's nostalgia. There are certain things that we have now that are invaluable, like quality of life things. But I loved it. I loved that era. So like with Hollow Knight, it reminded me of that time when like you didn't know when you were done with a game. I wasn't sure. They had a completion percentage on Hollow Knight, but you could hit 100 and not be done. So it's kind of misleading there, and I love that. Oh, come on. Oh, stop! Get out of here! You're a jackass. Centipede is a jackass. I was just barely missing the eye. You know, I've thought about doing a video on that. The idea of what it was like growing up with video games, not before the internet and not after the internet, but in that weird in-between time that a lot of us experienced as what I would say is like early Gen Z. People born in the late 90s, you know? There is something unique about that age. You know, I am 25. I turned 26 in just a few months. And I have strong memories of times where it felt like the internet was completely not a part of my life whatsoever, and parts of my life where, in developmental times of my life, where The internet is 100% a part of my life. Ooh, mother brain cutscene. I love that cutscene. Because what it tells you is that you are being watched. You may be completely alone here, but your progress through this planet is being observed. I think that that is a crucial part of the Metroid series that I hope they never take away. The idea, one, that Samus is relatively alone for her journey. I like the role of a certain side character in Dread. I think that that was done well, and Fusion as well. But for the most part, this should be kind of a solo journey. It reminds me a lot of Alien, and I know that when making Metroid, there was a lot that was inspired by Alien, even to the point that Ridley is named Ridley as kind of like an homage to Ridley Scott. I just died. Good lord. But I watched the Alien movies recently because I was intrigued by that connection. And I see where a lot of that inspiration came from. If Metroid, especially Fusion, is inspired by Alien, then Halo, which is another one of my childhood series, is inspired by Aliens, the sequel. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this missile upgrade. Hang on, let me get the rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. I just need to be moving left. Boom. There we go. And I think both, in their best moments, use that inspiration so well. By the way, I've only seen Alien and Aliens. Those movies, both of them, are masterpieces. If you haven't seen either of those movies, I encourage you, please watch them. They are some of the best examples of sci-fi horror that I have ever seen. I watched them alone with noise-canceling headphones, and I mean, when I say it was just phenomenal. Absolutely incredible games. Or not games. Goodness, I'm too gamer-pilled right now. I am... they're incredible movies. They are. I believe that I'm in Torian now. I might be wrong. Let's see. No, this is Criteria. Yeah, terrifying. Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, just a wonderful movie experience. Chozo Ruins. I might need to shoot that as well. There we go. I can't remember what I need for this, but it'll become apparent in due time. For these big blocks. Unknown item. Analysis inconclusive. Item incompatible with current suit. However, it does allow me to break that. There we go. A little wall jump. A little wall jump never hurt nobody. It really wants me to have the wall climb or like the wall hang ability right now, I believe. Here's an example of that incredible atmospheric Metroid music that I love so much. By the way, okay, so this is going to pay off in a long, long time. But this personification of the Chozo, this image of the Chozo, when you look at the Chozo statues that you get power-ups from in this game and Super, they're clearly bird-like, but you can't quite tell exactly what they're supposed to look like. Those are Torizo statues, which are not actually living Chozo. They are automatons, I guess. Kind of like the Prometheans in Halo 4 and 5, if you get my drift. But this image of the Chozo portrays them as almost like pharaoh-like birds, and it gives you an image of what they look like from the front. This is gonna come into play when it comes to modern Metroid. I am so excited to play Dread on stream. So if you're here when that happens, it might be weeks from now. But remember this. Wait. Can I get a teabag going? There we go. Okay. Samus got the moves. Can we hit the gritty? Okay. Okay. She hitting the gritty. Anyway. And can you tell me why I just gooned in your cave, Neiman? My god. I might have to. I'm not supposed to be here. I might have to bomb jump out of here. Hang on. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hang on, I got this. Oh, come on. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh. Oh my god, it's actually harder in Zero Mission to me than it is Super. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go. Good lord. Or maybe not. There we go. Power grip. This is where I was supposed to go. I forget where they want me to be in these games. But I genuinely, I know a lot of people think that Metroid is obtuse in its design. I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, for example, like the idea that you have to bomb random spots. If everyone knows about that kind of Metroid trope, then you probably won't get lost. And if you didn't, then, you know, that was back when You know, the times when Metroid games, again, the idea that information is being spread on the playground. Oh, I'm supposed to just break that. Where this is a living, breathing game that you learn more about over time. You know, it still had that mentality, I believe, back then. You riding with, gotta leave at 6:01. Oh, okay. Oh, we gotta go then. Well, this is the perfect time because I just got back to my ship. So weapons and energy fully restored, and we'll save. Yeah, this is actually perfect. This is a good place to stop. I got a few upgrades, and I really just wanted to, you know, get started on this game. Don't make me dox you. No, please. And we'll do a save state as well, just to make sure I don't lose any progress. Well, anyway, I was gonna play a little bit longer, but I mean, the Doom Part 2 is calling my name. So I am very, very excited to play that, or to watch it. Goodness, my verbs are all mixed up. Yeah, very excited to watch Doom Part 2. Dune Part 2. I will have some thoughts on it the next time that I stream, which will probably be tomorrow because I'm off again tomorrow. But for everybody that was here, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I really have enjoyed today's stream. Celeste and Metroid Zero Mission have been a great time. And I'm really excited. When I decided that I was going to play through the Metroid series, I immediately just got so genuinely hyped for it because, like I said, Metroid is... it's so good, and I don't feel like enough people appreciate it. And I only played it for the very first time in the last 3 years. And already, it has proven to be a nearly flawless series. Great time to get into Metroid, by the way, because, you know, we're past the drought. We got Metroid Dread 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, really. And Metroid Prime Remastered, Shadow dropped around this time last year, which that will be the version that I play, by the way. I have my Elgato set up so I can stream from my Switch finally. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. If you're watching the VOD, thank you so much for being here on YouTube or on Twitch after the fact. I appreciate everybody who comes to watch me play. It means the world to me. I love getting to do this. And if you are here in the VOD or after the fact or watching on YouTube or you find me through Twitter or TikTok, whatever, I would love for you to drop a follow so you can get notifications on when I stream next. I don't have an explicit schedule yet, but I stream when I can, and whoever's able to be here, it means so much to me that you are here. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great evening. I'm going to go watch some peak cinema, and I'll be back tomorrow with more Celeste and more Metroid Zero Mission. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.